Hello, hello, hello. How are you tonight? I decided to jump on just a couple minutes early just because I wanted to give people a chance to jump on and say hi. And also because I want to make sure that I can copy the download link for tonight's um, download and make sure that it is posted here at the top. So if you are joining me, there is a link right there posted at the very top. If you're watching this on replay, it should be at the scroll to the very, very, very top, and you should be able to see the link there. But that is the file that you can download that will give you a spirit-led journey into 2025 word of the year file. Okay. So that is there. You do not need to have it for tonight. Okay. So don't panic and think that you've got to run to your printer and print it out. You don't need to do that. I just wanted to put it up there now so that you had it available. All right. We see a bunch of you coming on. So let me know. Hi, Nikki. How are you? Let me know when you're here. I want to see you always here tonight. Make sure you're liking the video too. Make sure that other people see it. The more people that see it, then the more people will join us. Okay. Hi, Lanisa. How are you? It's good to see you here. Eva, how are you tonight? I used to know an Eva Franklin. She was a wonderful, wonderful woman. So it's great to have you here, Eva. All right. Hi, Annette. How are you? It's good to have you guys here. We've got a nice group. Hi, Wendy. Wendy, I got your Christmas card and I just want to thank you so much. That was so, so sweet of you. Thank you. I got quite a few Christmas cards from people. It was just super sweet. Hey, Teresa, how are you? Janice is here. Susan, Julie. Good to have you all here. Hi, Karen. How are you? You're new to the group. Wonderful. We are super excited to have you here. I try to come live every Monday with some kind of either a promotion or a special or something that teaches, and that's what I'm going to be doing tonight is a little teaching opportunity for you about finding your word for 2025. So first of all, I want to know if well, let's see here. How about how many have ever had a word of the year before? Has anybody done that before? If you have, I want you to put a heart in the comments, okay? If you've never done this and you've never done a word of the year, I want you to just write new in the comments. But if you've done a word of the year before, I want you to put a heart. If not, then you can put the word new. Thank you, Tamika. I'm glad to hear that's your name. So let me know in the comment. New, Karen is new. Never done a word of the year. Vonda, oh, Annette, several of you have already. Wonderful. Eva has before. I usually in the past have done words years ago. It's like everybody talked about it. I did it for business. So I did things about growth and things like that. But in the last couple years, I decided to make them more biblically based, more faith and spirit led. So that's why I thought it would be a lot of fun to have this, because I want to be able to teach you how to pick what we feel is a spirit led word of the year. That is so awesome. She said to her mother wrote her first book. Ooh, a stink bug just flew down at me. That is not fun. Sorry about that. I don't want it flying in my face here, so let me grab it. Where did it go? Oh, sure, it flew away. Here you go. That is not very nice. Okay. All righty. Sorry about that. Wow. Excitement here. All right, we've got a lot of you on here. I see 33. That is wonderful. Okay, so Wendy, let's see here. Wendy says last year was joy, and this year is Coram Deo. I don't know what that is, Wendy. You'll have to let me know what that means. I don't know what that means. You have to explain what that is. So yeah, that'd be great to hear. So that was another question I was going to ask. If you want to share your word from last year, we would love you to do that. So you're welcome to do that, because I think it's really important to know what your word of the year is, and to actually take that with you through the year, not just pick it in January and then that be the end of it. I want you to pick the word, but then I want you to do something with it so that you don't get to the end of 2025 and you've done nothing with it. Okay. So that's what we're going to talk about today. All right. So like I said in the very beginning of the call tonight, I posted a link to a digital download for you that has all the information I'm going to talk about tonight. So you have your own copy, but you do not need that for tonight. Okay. You just need to listen. If you've got a piece of paper and pencil, yeah. You can take notes, but you can actually have this printout too. So it's going to be a way of us just kind of going along. I'm going to explain the way I do it and see what you think. Okay. So let's see here. Let's go ahead and get started. So what I'm going to do is I am going to walk you through this spirit-led process for choosing the perfect word for 2025. But first, I want to share to you why having a word of the year can be so powerful for your faith journey. All right. So one thing that it's really good for is personal growth. All right. So last year, my word was listen, and it really completely transformed my prayer life. Instead of always talking to God, I learned to pause and to truly listen. One time during my quiet time, I really felt like I was led to reach out to a friend. It turned out she was really struggling that day and needed encouragement. And that's when I realized that my word wasn't just changing me. It was also helping me be there for other people in ways that I might have missed before, because I actually took the time to listen. One year, I can remember that my word was trust. And I didn't have any idea how much I was going to need it that year. Every time that I faced uncertainty, when I saw that word in my journal or on my, I put it as my screensaver on my computer, it reminded me to lean on God's promises. And it became like this friend that was walking me through the year. It was pointing me back to scriptures and to God's faithfulness. One year, let's see, my word was serve. And it changed how I saw opportunities around me. So simple things like offering to pray for someone at the grocery store, instead of just saying, I'll pray for you, actually stopping and praying for them, or helping a neighbor, or, different things like that. They became natural expressions of my words. So it made living out my faith so much easier. One year, my word was light. And it kept leading me to different scriptures throughout the year. So things like let your light shine in Matthew, and then discovering verses about God's light in Psalms, and then finding references to Jesus as the light of the world. It was like going on this treasure hunt through the Bible, with each discovery deepening my understanding. So that's one of the reasons that it is really, really important to do this. Donna, that's exactly what I'm going to go over. You said you don't know how to pick your word, and that is exactly what we're going to talk about tonight. Okay, so you're ready to get started? All right, so the first thing that, like I said, I do have this little handout here for you, but I am going to give it to you so you'll be able to have this later. But the first thing that I want you to do, and you need to do, is to prepare your heart with prayer. When you know you're getting ready to pick this word, you want to make sure that it is something that is began with prayer, right? So take a moment and you want to pray, and you ask God to help you as you seek this word for the coming year. You want to make sure that you hear his voice clearly, right? So you want to find a word that's going to align with your purpose in life. So I want you to say that prayer. Then what I want you to do is I want you to ask some questions. All right. So I want you to, what I did, Okay, so let me show you this, what I did in my journal. I have, I have so many of these journals, and I just use them for everything that I'm working on. So I wrote up here, my word for 2025, and then I asked myself these questions, all right? And they're listed right here in the reflection questions of your paper. So it says, what has God been teaching me? That was one of the questions. And to me, what he has been teaching me lately, what I've felt lately, is that I need to stop thinking about what I lack and concentrate on what I have. And I'm not talking about just material things. I'm talking about every aspect of my life. Okay. So this is before I pick my word. All right. This is just ideas to get your mind going. The next one is, what areas in my life need growth? And one of them was that I need to expand how I serve others. And I want to share God's love more. There's a couple different ways that I have planned in the next week. Next week's Blessings Unveiled is going to be an announcement on another way that I'm hoping to serve others. So I hope you come back next week. Another question is, what scriptures have been recurring in my devotional time? And it seems like there's quite a few that keep coming up lately. One is Ephesians 3:20 that says, now to him who is able to do immensely more than we ask or imagine, according to his power that is at work within us. So that's God's unlimited capacity to always exceed our expectations, right? And then I have several more. Luke 6:38. I wrote these out. Then what I did is after I do that and you answer all of these questions on the first page, what I want you to do is listen and list. So I want you to get another blank piece of paper, and I want you to just start writing words. Okay? Just words, words, words. I do them in different colors. I do all kinds of different things. And you want to write down words that have really been on your heart. Words that appear in your daily devotions. Some words that come to you in prayer. Maybe they resonate with your current season. Maybe they align with your spiritual goals. Anything like that. I want you to just brainstorm all of those words on a piece of paper. And then see what kind of a theme or what kind of an idea might come from that. Or it might be one of those words. It might be a different word that means a similar thing as this. Then it would be nice to pick something from there. It would be really easy to do that. Okay. So let's see here. What else can we do? So after you do that, other things you can think of is you can write down verses that speak to you. All right. That's what I did. I came up with some different verses that were speaking to me. You can consider what qualities would help you grow. So I did things like generous, overflowing, fullness, immeasurable, boundless, fruitful is a big word for us this year because we're doing the fruit of the Spirit. So I wrote all those words down, and I just kept writing as many as I could. Okay. What I have for you on the last page of our handout is a sheet that says Guided by Grace Word of the Year themes. All right. So let me read you a couple of these themes that you could actually look at and use. And try to come up with some ideas from that. You can use some of these words. You can come up with your own. Pamela's asking, can a person end up with more than one word? Probably, Pamela. I think it's kind of easier to just have one, unless there are two words that are very similar. Okay. So here's some ideas of some themes. So growth and transformation. You've got words like bloom and flourish and cultivate and thrive and grow. Divine connection, like beloved or embrace or delight. Spiritual journeys. Are you seeking? Are you journey? Is your journey? Listen, that was mine last year. Intentional purpose. Spirit-led living, things like illuminate, spirit, awaken, different ones like that. Okay. Kingdom focus, thinking about wisdom or ministry, called. Strong and strength and perseverance, things like courage or mindful or strong or endure, things like that. Grace and gratitude, ones like grace, gratitude, mercy, abundance, blessing, and nurture. It's got all kinds of different things like that on it, that you can check these out. Cindy, I apologize. Cindy says she's deaf and she doesn't have closed caption. Actually, I think, Cindy, I'll tell you this. I know you probably won't be able to tell, but if on the YouTube video afterwards, you should have closed captioning on that. Okay. Okay. So anyway, let's go ahead and move on. So what's some things that I want you to think about also, let's see here, is, I want to make sure I have all of my papers right here. Those are all different words that you can use, right? So you can look at all of those, start looking at those categories. Just try to see if any of them resonate with you. You can brainstorm personal words, things that mean something deeply to you, anything like that. So then once you have some potential words, you can start narrowing it down. That's not it. That's not it. And so you can start crossing ones out. You can also think about demonstrating how there's a connection from one word to another. And does it kind of mean the same thing? And which one do you think really means the most to you? So I've got quite a few words in mind that are all pretty closely. I've got bountiful and harvest. I've got quite a few words that are very similar. So I might combine those together. There's some examples too of words that are good, but then there's some words that are not quite right. It's not that they aren't right. It's just that they could be better. So in other words, like the word success, if your word you pick is success, why it feels more focused on worldly achievements than spiritual growth. But you might pick a word like flourish. Okay. So that focuses on growing in God's purpose and bearing spiritual fruit, right? So another word, instead of just saying your choice of a word, is happy. Happy makes me think of just a fleeting moment, a temporary feeling, not one that's going to last. But if you think of the word joy, to me, joy represents a deeper spiritual contentment and God's presence in your life, right? Another one is the word perfect. So, perfect could really put a lot of pressure on you, right? If you have the word perfect, nobody's perfect. So that might really put so much focus on works instead of grace. So you could change that word and maybe make it grace or growth or something like that embraces the journey and God's work in us. I'm trying to think, maybe change. Maybe somebody's really ready for a big change in their life. So they thought that change would be a good word. That's fine. That's a fine word, but it's a little too vague. What kind of change? What are you looking for? So maybe you could say transform or renew, which specifically points to God's work in us, right? So what you want to do is, once you pick your word or narrow your words down, start looking at them and think to yourself, does it align with scripture? Does it feel spirit-led, or does it feel self-led? Can they find biblical examples of it? If you have your word, what biblical example could you find from that? Does it bring peace when you pray about it? Is that something that you feel like God is saying to you? Yep, that's your word. That's your word. Can you envision growing with this word all year long? What is your final outcome of it after you're done? What can you see happening at the end of the year if you follow and grow with this word all year long? Okay, so I'm going to give you some ideas of some creative ways that you could keep your word visual and meaningful all year long, because it is so important to have that word in front of you. All right. So, like I said, my word was listen. Let me show you what I had. So, one of the things I did last year, so this was my listen. It says, be still and listen. So, I made this little bookmark last year. I have it in one of my journals. So, I keep it in here so that it always marks my place. And I just got some a little bit of jute and some beads and put it on there. But it just says, be still and listen. So every time I see this, I pause and I think to listen. And I listen for God's voice instead of listening to Bev's voice. Understand? Okay, so what I did, let's see here, what do I have here? Okay, so this is what I put in my journal for last year. And this is a journal that I just write things in all the time. So this one I just wrote in my word for 2024. So this is my 2023 journal. And I have my word for 2024 after I did all of that work is listen. All right. So I said, I want to become better at listening to God's voice and not just my own. I was so guilty of that last year. It was so easy to get caught up in my own ideas and convince myself that it was God's leading. Anybody else had that problem? I want to learn to be quiet and quiet the busy thoughts and to pause before making decisions and really tune into what God is saying to me. So these are reasons that I picked that word. And then I said listeners in the Bible, and I listed different people in the Bible that I felt were good listeners. I listed Samuel. I said when Samuel was a little boy, when the Lord spoke, he said, speak, Lord, your servant is listening. That's what I want to be. That's what I wanted. That was my word for last year. I wanted to listen like Samuel. David, as a shepherd boy, he was a warrior. He was a king. He had a very strong listening relationship with God. In the Psalms, his heart was always turning towards God's voice, right? And I wrote, I want to hear God's voice, not mine. And then I wrote Mary, Jesus's mother. After the shepherds had already been to her, after they heard the angels and they came to her and they told her what the angels said, it says Mary treasured up all these things and pondered them in her heart. All right. So she didn't just hear things, she contemplated their deeper meaning. So I said, I want to listen with my heart. So that's what I wrote there. And those are the things that I have written in my journal from last year. So I want to show you what I'm working on for this year. Like I did, I showed you this part. I decided to come up with this. And then I want to share with you what I ended up doing on my next page after I picked my word. So after I did all the things that I told you about before, I picked my word. And my word this year is abundance. Abundance. And at first I just kept coming back to this word, but I wanted to make sure that I wasn't thinking about when you say abundance, it sounds like you want physical things, and that's not what I'm asking for. Okay. Sometimes we get all caught up in thinking small and focusing on what we lack. Okay. But God kept drawing my attention to how he provides for me abundantly, not just in material things, but in every aspect of my life. In my ministry with you guys, I also preach at a church 2 Sundays a month. I'm feeling called to expand how I serve and how I encourage others. I want to share God's love more abundantly. And like I said, I want you to stay tuned for next week when I make an announcement about that. In creativity. All right. I love being creative. You know, I love to write. I love to be creative. I want to develop more resources and more products that could bless the Blessed Bee community. All right. In my faith, I want to expect and recognize God's abundant blessings, even in the small moments. I want to be able to see those. In giving, I want to be more generous in encouragement. I'm not just talking money, but in encouragement, in prayer, in support for other people. And another way I want to be abundant is in trust. I want to believe in God's abundant provision, especially when I'm facing new challenges. One of my favorite scriptures that confirmed this word for me was John 10:10. And it's where Jesus says, he came that we might have life more abundantly. And this isn't just about, like I said, having more things. It's about experiencing the fullness of God's blessing and then becoming a channel for those blessings to flow to other people. And I want this word to remind me that daily, that God doesn't work in scarcity. He's a God of abundance. He's a God of more than enough. Whether it's ideas for new products to serve you, or ways to encourage the community, or simply noticing the countless ways that God shows his love, I want to live in the mindset of abundance. So that is my word, and I wanted to share it with you. And it is just such a strong, powerful word. And I have all kinds of different ideas for how I'm going to, where I'm going to put this word so that I see it constantly. All right. So let's see here. I've got some other ideas. You can put them in journal pages, like I said, like I did. You can progress your tracking of how your word is being used in your life. Okay. You can create your bookmarks. You can make your phone wallpaper your word. I do my screensaver on my computer that way. You could create journal tabs. You could do things like word mapping. You can come up with your word, and with all of those words that I had here in my journal here, I could actually do word mapping, and I could have words coming from my word abundance, and I could have words going out from it saying what they mean. Okay. Let's see here. Those are different things we can do. You can collect scriptures. Every time that you see that word is being used, write it in a special book, write it on a special page, do something with it. I know a lot of you do use the Bless Method, and I love that you do that. And you have a journal just for your Bless Method things. So do I. That's why I said I've got this journal that I just keep, I'll use this all year long. I'm at the beginning of a new one here. So it's just started October? End of November, I started this one. I just keep going. I don't start a new book for each year. I just keep these blue little journals, these dot journals. I love the dot journals. But that's why I thought just a small little thing here that I wanted to offer to you guys. I put together this packet, and this is our, let me see here, our Faithful Beginnings packet. And I sent that out in the email this morning that you can use, you can purchase. Now, this is regularly priced at $29.99. It's on sale for $24.99, but I am giving $5 off in addition to that. So I'm going to put it here in the group there. There you go. And I'm also going to share, let's see here, see if I can do this, if I can add this. There you go. This is the kit, the Faithful Beginnings Journal. So as you can see, it's $24.99. But when you, can't do it there. When you add it to the cart, then, I got two of them in there. It's going to show you, let's remove one. Let's go back now. Sorry about that. It's going to show you how it came up as a discount. Let me do it again here so I have it. There we go. Now you can see it. So when I add one to the cart and you go to the shopping cart, then it's going to show you the discounted price word of the year for $19.99. These are a fantastic kit that it's got a Bible side note in it. It's got a whole bunch of other things in it that you can use for your word of the year. You can use it like I do. I use this as just my extra little journal. When I'm taking notes, something special happens to me. Sometimes I'll write down prayer requests. I do all kinds of different things with this journal, but it's a great way to keep different things like this all in one place. Okay. So that special is going on, and it will be available, I think, until tomorrow night. We decided to have that available, but you can get it at that discounted price until tomorrow. Okay. Also, let's see here. Don't forget the digital download. I'm going to put it here again in the comments. There is the link to the digital download. If you do not have a printer, you don't have to. You can just pull it up on your phone or on your computer, and you can just read the questions and go through it while you're visibly writing things down in a journal or where else. So it's okay if you don't have a printer. That's no problem. Okay. All righty. So have I got your brains going? Let me know in the comments. Have you been thinking of words? Have any words come to you? That's one more thing I want to share with you. I want you to, I'm going to make a post, and I'm going to say, post your word here. Okay. And I want you to say, list your word, and anybody that shares their word between now and tomorrow evening, if you get it done, is going to be entered into a drawing for a gift card for Blessed Bee Boutique. Okay. So I'd love you to share your word. If you want to share why you picked that word, that is fantastic. If you don't, you just want to say what your word is, that's fine too. But I'll go ahead and put that word up, or that file up, so that you can go ahead and post your word there. Okay. Teresa said hers is renewal. That's a good word, Teresa. I love that. Make sure you post it in the comments after I post this here. 10 or more. Oh, you have to narrow it down. Okay. All right. So let's see here. Do we have any questions before we go? I just thank you so much for so many of you joining me. Nikki said hers is transform. Annette is stronger. Angela said her word is joy. I love that. I love that. That is fantastic. Katie says she's still deciding. She has a few she's thinking of. Good, good. Yes, fantastic. I love it. Don't feel like you have to rush for a word. If you've already been doing it, fantastic. It took me a while to figure out what my word was. I've been planning this for a while, so I just kept, thinking about it and thinking about it, because this is a word I want you to use all year long. Like I said, make sure it's visible so that you remember it, and then you're able to go back and look at it next December and see how much of a difference it's made in your life. I can say it's made a difference in mine. It really has helped me to listen more instead of thinking that it's Bev's idea, or just going with Bev's idea and asking God to bless it, right? I want him to give me what I need to do. I don't want Bev to jump ahead and do it and then say, God, please bless what I've just decided, right? Okay, so let's see here. The Lord revealed joy to me repeatedly. Oh, fantastic. Alicia says hers is gratitude. Let's see here. Martha says, do we have to re-sign up for the Creative Blessings Club? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. In fact, we'll have a post up tomorrow for it. Okay, that's going to be in tomorrow's email. You'll have information about how to sign up for the Creative Blessings Club for 2025. It is the fruit of the Spirit, and the first month is love. So we will have that tomorrow for you to be able to sign up. You can sign up now. I just don't have all the information on the website yet. So if you wait till tomorrow, it'll be better timing. Karen says down to 2, either wisdom or discernment. Ooh, those are both good ones. Lenisa, let's see here. Joy is Wendy's. Fawn says, I really thought my word was confidence, yet the more I pray, it's peace, going through some storms. I love that, Fawn. That's fantastic. And Julie says hers is surrender and patience. Patience level is nil to none. And God just keeps laughing and saying patience. Oh, Roseanne, do I know that one? Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me. I try to keep these at a half hour. We're a little bit over, but I just cannot thank you enough for joining me tonight. I am so glad that so many of you came, and I hope that you'll join me next Monday as well. Don't forget, you can get your little journal. This is at a fantastic price. Normally, the journal itself is $15.99, yet you're getting the whole entire kit It has a pen. It's got a little pad. It's got a whole pack of stickers too, things like that. You end up getting it for $19.99. All right. Thank you so much. And I just pray you have a very, very blessed evening and a blessed new year. I am actually going to be taking my two grandsons with my daughters, and we're going to the Children's Museum in Pittsburgh. Cannot wait. We were going to go to the zoo, but it's going to rain. So we're going to the Children's Museum again. So I pray that you all have a wonderful New Year's, and I will see you back here next Monday. Have a blessed evening. Bye-bye.